Hello, hello, hello. My dear empath, highly sensitive person out there who I cannot see you, but you can see me and hear me. I thought I would record this video along with having some tea here in my pink cup. I love big cups and mugs, and I drink a lot of tea. So because I was called to recording another video today, so I figured that I might as well record it like this. And yeah, these things that are coming to me today involve these same things that I was just talking about today in my other video, because I was attacked by toxic people again, you know, my neighbors and my ex, and also been encountering a few others who don't know me. And what comes strongly to me again is the fact that they really don't know me. They don't know anything about my life story, or you know, who I am and what I am as a person, as a being. They don't know me at all. They don't know anything, and I don't know them. So it's very unfortunate that these things happened, and all I can say is that once again I'm just turning it into empowerment as the alchemist that I am, and you are too. So I want to share this guidance for empowerment for you. As always, if you have been dealing with similar situations, if you are still dealing with toxic people, narcissistic people in your life, as a sensitive empath, highly sensitive person that you are, so it is so important to be able to still be you and be unaffected by these toxic people, because it's not worth it that you give them your attention and energy and you feel bad after they hurt you. And you know, you also know the fact that they would not do that same for you. They would not cry over you. They would not feel hurt over you in the way that you feel when they hurt you. And it's not okay, you know. With people, we should be communicating normally, as I always say, and respect one another, and to understand that when we don't know each other, we never know each other's life stories and life histories, you know, and we don't know what somebody has gone through in their lives. So we should always just strive to be kind and understanding, you know, and patient and calm and peaceful when we are dealing with other people, and of course with ourselves too. We have to first support ourselves so that we can also support others. So it has to be in this balanced state naturally, because if it's not in that balanced state where you're coming from, if you're coming from chaos, if you're not respecting yourself, how can you ever respect others, you know? So it must start within first. And this involves every single person on this planet Earth. We all should always remember to come from that peaceful, balanced state of mind. Of course things happen, and like, for example, now that I was attacked again by these toxic people, it left me wondering, of course, a little after the shock and that pain that they caused me went away, because it always takes a bit of time. I'm not a robot, and you know, I'm sensitive like you are too, so I do get affected in some ways, yes, But what matters is, you know, how we respond to these things. And as a coach, as a guide, as a therapist, I'm just here to, you know, share these thoughts and realizations as always with you, honestly and authentically, that we should never, you know, stay stuck in those emotions, in those negative vibes, feelings, frequencies, emotions, and you know, in those negative thoughts. If something happens, we just have to keep on reminding ourselves that it's not really our problem. If somebody has a bad day, if somebody's being toxic, it is not our problem to fix that. It is their problem to fix within themselves, in their own lives. After all, we are separate people. Oneness is real, yes, but we are separate beings. So it's important as a sensitive empath, highly sensitive person, to always make yourself indifferent, always be in your own frame. So that will make you a lot stronger, and you are more able to handle if something like this comes across, you know? So your self-concept and your self-respect and your self-value, the way you accept yourself fully and truly and love yourself, respect yourself, you know who you are, and all of that. So all of that creates that strength that comes from within you, that it protects you from all these kinds of things and happenings. So there's always a root cause for everything, and it's important to find out that root cause so that you are able to heal it, whatever that matter is that you need and want to heal. And of course, usually there can be issues that need healing, especially if we are dealing with toxic people who don't care about us. There can be a lot of issues that we might still be learning and going through and realizing, you know, learning and growing as beings, as adults, and, you know, realizing things and seeing things from a new angle, a better angle. Maybe you always knew all of that within you, but you have not fully acknowledged those things until you had to, basically. At least I resonate with this, that I had to realize that, okay, I did not know this, or I did not think about this before, or I didn't realize this, or, you know, something like that. But that's life, you know. It's human life, and it's not perfect. It's perfectly imperfect. And always remember that as a spiritual being that you are, we all are, we are perfect in that way. Our souls are perfect. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just peace and love. But as humans, we do make mistakes, you know, and things happen, and, you know, that's life. But what is important is, I think, that we need to have common sense with people. We need to have common sense and discipline with ourselves, you know, like self-respect and self-love and self-care routines every single day, so that we're able to, you know, start our day in that right mindset and to be aligned, you know, because after all, we should be aligned with ourselves and with the universe, so that everything becomes a lot better and easier, so that you are able to come from that ease and flow, you know? So it's important to strive to come from that peace and joy and love energy that is naturally yours, that these toxic people don't have. They don't have that energy. They just want it from you, but it's not your job to give it to them because you are not their savior. They should learn that they have to save themselves. After all, we all are responsible for ourselves, and we cannot be depending on others too much to be saving ourselves. Nobody can do that for us, really, ultimately, especially when it comes to mental health issues, for example. Of course, we can always help and guide and support each other, and we should, and be examples, and be friends and loved ones and all of that. But ultimately, if there are some deep issues like trauma issues, the person has to go through them by themselves and to deal with them by themselves, because nobody can really be nobody can be your brain, sort of, if you understand. Your mind is yours, so only you really ultimately know yourself and what is going on in your life and how you feel and how you think, and you should know that because it is a big part of the self-esteem and your self-concept, So in order to live that better life, healthier, happier life, it involves you having that strong self-concept and accepting and loving yourself, respecting yourself, So you always have to be putting yourself first. And maybe it's something really new to you, especially if you've been very abused in your life. This can be like big news to you in a way. And you might not fully understand it first, but that is really how it is. Nobody can do those things for you. Only you live your life, so you have to know your worth, and know that you have a worth. Nobody can steal that really away from you. People can hurt you and energetically be destroying you, yes, but ultimately it's your call what you will and won't accept. And if you allow them to do that or not, you can choose to walk away and you can choose to find solutions for yourself and protect yourself and your loved ones, protect your life, So you don't have to be putting up with that toxic BS, and you should not be doing that. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this because it's so important to be acknowledging these things as a sensitive being, because otherwise you will be just ending up being a doormat, So, like for example, if somebody's guilt-tripping you, blaming you for being toxic just because you are being yourself and speaking your truth and standing up for yourself and having your boundaries, of course it's a big sign that this person themselves is toxic. And once again, they don't see the issues within themselves, or they don't want to see those issues because they are too hurt to see and feel those issues, to want to fix those issues. They don't have that ability. But you are different from them. You have the ability to reflect on yourself. You have the ability to see from a different angle. You have the ability and the strength and all of that love within you and all of that because you naturally care about people, you care about the world. You have this light, you have this strength, you are this love and light. So you have all of that within you, and you can tune into it, and you should. So you don't need to be dwelling in that energy that is not yours, you know? It is just so crazy, you know, when it happens, but I have witnessed this happen so many times that I cannot help but think about it again and talk about it again, because, you know, there have been too many people whom I have seen and heard and noticed that they just lack the ability to really take any responsibility or accountability of anything, and they just, you know, basically walk around and live their lives unaware of maybe hurting others, or then they do it intentionally. And if you try to communicate with these people, if you try to, you know, set your boundaries, speak your truth, be yourself, you tell them, I like this, I don't like this, this is okay with me, this is not okay with me. You try to get to know this person, you tell them, okay, this is what I am like, like, hello, this is me. And then they just argue with you, you know, they want to deny what is true to you. They make you question yourself and your reality. They make you question whether what you know is true or not, you know? So these are typical narcissistic person traits, that this is just what they do. They just keep on doing it. They're stuck in this pattern, that they don't know how to communicate normally with a person like a mature adult communicates, respectfully, listening to the other person, and, you know, respecting the other person and themselves too. So it's like if something is missing in this puzzle, it's like it immediately creates problems. And I've just seen it so many times. So I know that I'm being called to, you know, sharing my message about these things. So, you know, it's important to acknowledge that it has nothing to do with you if this has been happening. Maybe, you know, maybe it can be in your energy, for example, in some ways, yes. But then that is a sign that you need to heal something within yourself. But that is, of course, a positive thing, because then you will just have to tune in to yourself even more. Maybe get to know yourself a bit more. Maybe check on your values and what you want from life. What do you want, you know, from people and all of that. And to know what you deserve, you know. So naturally, of course, if you love yourself and respect yourself and know yourself, these toxic people cannot be getting to you anymore. Because, yeah, you will be, once again, you will be a lot stronger from within, you know. Your self-concept is strong, you know where you stand, you know who you are and what you're here to do. And nobody has the right to steal that from you. Nobody has the right to hurt you. You are entitled to having respect and kindness from others. Not to be feeling like you are a doormat. So the next time if somebody tries to hurt you again, you know, just tell yourself that it's not your issue to deal with. It's not your problem. That you know who you are and where you stand, and that's it. You know, you do your best to communicate with a person, and You know, if they don't respect you, if they don't hear you, if they once again blame you for being the abusive one, when they are clearly being the abusive one themselves, when they are not communicating with you normally and honestly and with respect, but instead they are just attacking you and hurting you, maybe yelling at you, and if you raise your voice at them, they just attack you even more. So these are big signs that this person has big issues. And your job is to step away from that, walk away from that person, cut off the phone call, cut off the chats, whatever the situation is. But you have to do what you have to do to protect yourself. So there is no point in, you know, engaging with that person because it's not going anywhere. So you are just hurting yourself, you know. So that would be self-sabotage. That would be over-giving, you know, your energy, your empathy, your kindness, your understanding, your love, and your care to this toxic person who clearly has no respect for you. And likely they don't understand anything about you. It seems like what I realized, what I've seen and sensed when dealing with these kind of people is that they don't even know what a highly sensitive person even is. They don't know what an empath even is. But people like us, we are real. And we are here to be helping the world, to be healing others. But of course, as I always say, first we have to be doing the inner work. So, of course, it's a gift to be like brightening somebody's day or helping a friend in some way. But it really has to do with the self-respect, to be able to attract healthy relationships, you know? So self-love and self-respect and those self-care routines, it all has to be in place so that you can attract healthier people into your life. Choose healthier people into your life, you know? When you know your worth and you know what you bring to the table and all of that. And it can be a challenge if you are dealing with challenging people. Yes, it can be a challenge. Like, for example, for me, it sometimes is, depending on the situation, of course. But all I can say is that us Earth Angels and Starseeds, we get attacked. We get those psychic attacks sometimes. That's, you know, it just happens. And it's not in our control. It's not in my control when this issue has happened. But I need to protect myself and my family and my home and my health. And I am doing what is the best thing to do. And so I recommend that you remember this too, that you carry this truth in your heart, that you need to be protecting yourself, whatever it takes. Because if you keep on engaging with those people who try to hurt you, whether intentionally or not, it doesn't matter, but they are hurting you so much that they are hurting your soul. They are hurting you in this big way. They don't always even realize it, but they are hurting you in that deep way that it can cause physical pain, illnesses, and therefore they are destroying you. So in order to protect yourself, you have to step away, walk away, release it, release the energies, release the situation, and just do your best to let it go as soon as possible. Calm yourself down, you know, with breathing exercises, for example. Ground yourself into your peace again. You know, come back to alignment, come back to love, you know. From my personal experience, I can really say that I'm feeling it immediately if I'm out of alignment. And it can be a big factor when those things start to pop up. But I just remind myself that, you know, I make mistakes too, and mistakes happen, and, you know, this is life, and I'm human too. So I'm not like this world savior person, you know. And, you know, we all need support. Like I always say, we all need support, and we're human beings, and things happen, and we make mistakes, and that's life. So we must not be too hard on ourselves. That is also a big issue that an empath, a highly sensitive person, has to work on. That you're not too hard on yourself. Because if you are hurt within, you are too hard on yourself, and you don't love yourself, you don't accept yourself, you don't value yourself, you don't respect yourself, you don't know yourself, you don't know who the heck you are and what you're here to do in the world, you are likely a victim for these toxic people, because they see and sense and feel how vulnerable you are. They see that you are like this lost deer in the woods, and they see you as an easy target. They don't say it out loud, but they see it and they feel it and they sense it. And they're like these energy vampires, you know, attacking you. It's this demonic energy attacking you. But the more you know, the more you can, you know, brace yourself. You know that this can happen. So that alone can give you a lot of strength, you know. And the more you are aware of these types of things and situations that they can happen, the more you can protect yourself and your home and your loved ones and your sanity, your mental and emotional health. Because you have to do that. So maybe you would like to, you know, have people around you to support you. Maybe you do have people around you to support you, but not everyone does. And I've been going through these things by myself, so it's very very awful that every time something like that has happened, I have been alone. So I could not talk about those things to people. But I also believe that this happens usually when we are alone. That they don't happen if we are surrounded by other people or friends or something like that. Of course that can happen too, but not necessarily so easily. But anyway, so when we know about it, we can protect ourselves more, and I just want to, you know, raise awareness about these things. And just keep on remembering your worth, you know, that you don't need to be putting up with that BS, and you know your worth, and you know the truth about yourself, about your life, about the way you see reality. So you don't have to take what somebody's trying to feed you, and you should not, because it's their issue. If they are being toxic to you, it's an entirely different thing to be communicating normally, to be having discussions, conversations normally. That is not attacking. Attacking is quite different. It's blaming, it's gaslighting, manipulating, deceiving and all of that, you know, making you question yourself and doubt yourself, and, you know, making you question everything that you know by now in your life. And it can be so hurtful, especially when you are on your healing path after narcissistic abuse. So you really don't have any space for getting hurt again, because all you want to do is focus on your healing, you know? And that is what you should do, is focus on your healing and not let those people get to you. Be careful in that way, that you know who is worthy of you opening up to them. This is important, that you can deal with only those people who you know that you can actually trust. And they won't attack you. They will communicate with you normally and peacefully. And even if you have disagreements with people, they can be solved, you know, like that is what mature adults do. We can have conversations about things, but we don't have to be attacking each other. We should not be attacking each other. So yeah, I guess this is what I wanted to say, is, you know, fight back. Don't take that brainwash. Let's stand together against these toxic people and just be happy and thrive. And hey, if you need someone to talk to, don't hesitate to reach out and we can take it from there. Much love. Thank you for subscribing, liking this video, and all of that.